Why play Shaco Top? Well, he deals massive AoE damage, he has amazing outplay potential, he's very difficult to ever actually kill, and he's just frustrating to play against. However, he can take some time to learn, and he doesn't always fit well into a team comp. Shaco's passive are his basic attacks are empowered when hitting an enemy from behind to deal bonus damage, and both his Q and his E have additional effects when hitting an enemy from behind. Shaco's Q is one of the most ridiculous abilities in the game. It causes him to blink in a direction and become invisible. The invisibility ends after a set amount of time or when he attacks or uses E. However, he can use his W and ultimate while still invisible. After breaking invisibility, his next attack deals bonus damage, and this is massively increased if hit from behind. Shaco's W places down a box which becomes invisible and armed after 2 seconds. If an enemy walks nearby, the box activates, fearing enemies, rooting them, and dealing constant damage. And if the box is only attacking one target, it deals massively increased damage. Shaco's E has a passive, where if the ability is not on cooldown, all of his attacks slow. The active is a point and click ability which deals damage to the target hit and slows them. And if they're below 30% health, it deals massively increased damage. In addition, it deals even more damage if the dagger hits them from behind. Shaco's ultimate causes him to vanish for half a second and blink in a direction, creating a clone of himself. He can then recast this ability to move the clone around. This clone can attack enemies and mimic his abilities. And after 18 seconds or when it dies, it explodes into 3 boxes which attack and fear enemies. For combos, Shaco can do a lot of fun things. A good go-to is to Q behind your opponent and use W. Attack away, hitting them from behind as much as possible, ending with E. When your clone has low health or duration, run it at your opponent and Q behind them using W. Attack as your clone explodes, and then your W goes off, essentially double fearing them, and then attack away, ending with E. And another fun combo is to ult and Q behind your opponent and use W. Attack with your clone until W procs, then attack yourself from behind, ending with E. For matchups, Shaco's actually great into ranged top laners easily getting onto them, and he can struggle against champions who don't let him make fun plays. For runes, Comet is great extra poke damage. For build order, start Ring and Pot into a Black Fire Torch in tier 2 boots. From here, Leandries and Shadow Flame are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these. For skill order, start W then Q then E before maxing W then E then Q, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Teleport and Ignite. Your Q is essentially a free flash anyway. Starting the game, poke away and look for opportunities to trade. Your E is point and click damage which also procs Comet. With your Q, you can essentially choose to fight whenever you want to. So, especially if your opponent's on cooldown, drop a box behind them and let them have it. Otherwise, set yourself up with safe areas with W and force your opponent to chase you into them. Entering the mid game, take tower and split push for pressure. This will give your team a lot of map presence and you're basically impossible to catch in a side lane, where you can then just group up and assassinate a carry. Entering late game team fights, trap areas around objectives. Your boxes deal so much damage, if they have to chase you through them, they just die. Otherwise, play the disruptive assassin. Queue onto the backline, set a trap for the carries and clone yourself. Deal massive damage while relying on deception for safety.